Louisiana Beer Reviews Brooklyn Black Ops Stout aged in Four Roses small batch bourbon barrels. Four Roses small batch edition. Now I don't know if there's a regular Black Ops and this is a alternate variety of that. I'll have to check. It was confusing, but this ale is best before this blurry date. No. Best before date printed on the bottom of the can. Not gonna try to figure that out. At a 12.4% alcohol level, that's not gonna matter much. Independent craft brewery, but it's produced by an independent regional brewer FX Matt, M-A-T-T, of Utica, New York, so upstate New York for Brooklyn. Okay, it says on the can. Brewed by the Brooklyn Brewery of Utica, New York, but really that should say brewed for the Brooklyn Brewery. Brooklyn Limited. Now they're saying on the website extremely limited availability. Well, even the regular Black Ops is extremely limited. Now I was looking on the Four Roses website. I have a link below. They also had an article, a write-up about this product, but when it was available in the 750 milliliter bottles. And that was from November 2019, and it was also rated at 12.4. So, but this is the first year we know that for sure, 2021, that this was sold in cans, pint cans, and it was $14.99 for the 4-pack at Mathern's Market. $14.99. There are video reviews already going back a few months. They say it's aged for a few months in Four Roses small batch bourbon barrels, not the regular Four Roses, but the small batch. And this is oily because I see there was a bubble, a bit of beer, a bubble of beer, or a ball of beer rolling around the top. Dark, it's almost like black, dark brown, nearly black, with a cream-colored head. I could smell the bourbon barrel as soon as I popped and poured. They finish it with champagne yeast, which is a bit strange. So, an imperial stout finished with champagne yeast. Okie dokie. I've had Four Roses, the regular. You know, the standard used to be yellow label. Now it's like a cream color label. My friend David had a little bit left. He let me try it, and I liked it. I've never had the small batch, except for somebody gave me a sample of it one time. But you know what? That was the small batch 10-year age. That was a very expensive product that you normally don't see. There might still be, in some countries, I don't know about the United States of America, a Four Roses blended whiskey, because for years it was sold as a blended whiskey with grain, neutral spirits, and straight bourbon blended in. So that may or may not exist, but it's not on their website. And a lot of companies have things that's not on their website. Okay, so it's rich, creamy, unusual smelling. It does smell strange. It does not smell like a normal imperial stout. It's like some, I guess, bourbon barrel and champagne yeast, but the champagne give it a wine flavor, aroma. You know, like Pabst Blue Ribbon beer uses Carlsberger yeast, which the company, from a 1980 article I read, said it gave it a somewhat winey taste. And I've always noticed that over the years, strange white wine taste that Pabst Blue Ribbon has. I'm trying to place this smell. It's almost like a cheese, like Limburger cheese, but you say, no, don't say it. I don't know what it is. Taste, cheers. You know, because Limburger gets that smell and that weird bacteria. Beer Advocate, 91 out of 100, outstanding. Rape Beer, 94 out of 100. They like it even more, except in the style, Imperial Stout. No, get down. And in the Imperial Stout style, they give it a 58. Now figure that out. 94, fabulous. In the style, it's kind of horrible. And then Untapped give it an 81, which is very high for Untapped. Flavor. Dark roasted malts. Now they're talking about chocolate and coffee. I don't know about that. Chocolate and coffee? I'd just say dark brown bread crust, dark roasted malts. It just tastes like dark roasted malts. Bourbon barrel. There's a shade of it. There is a shade, but it's not profound. How many months? The way I was reading it seemed like it's about 4 months. Okay, now FX Matt. Their main thing is Utica Club, and Utica Club Light, UC Light, which someone sent me years ago, and I appreciated it, and it was good. And I drank it at the brewery. Utica Club and the UC Light, more than one can and bottle also, I might add. And the tour was fabulous. I mean, you know, it was a great deal, $5, and you get all this beer, and then they give you trivia questions, and I kept getting them right, you know. I felt bad at taking all the tickets from everybody, but nobody else seemed to know the answer. I was like, bam, 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 getting them all right. So I think a company like that, a regional brewery, along the lines of like what Pearl Brewing used to be in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, or a Dixie Brewing used to be in New Orleans, a regional brewery that, you know, had a following in that, or Leinenkugel still in Wisconsin. They can do anything, you would think. They've been around since 1884. Their expertise should be high, and they say, here's the recipe, do it. Because Brooklyn Brewery in Brooklyn, New York City, New York is small. They don't have the capacity to put all this stuff. Most of their beer is contract brewed, as evidenced by reading the bottles and cans where it says Utica. Utica. We got some good pizza in Utica. Can't remember the name of that place, but it's like this gigantic pizza. Took me days to eat it. I thought large, you know, get a large, but I said, this is not large, this is monstrous. The body's not heavy, it's like high medium. The finish is semi-dry, it's got that strange champagne flavor. Sweetness scale, yeah, I would say 4 out of 5 sugar cubes. Bitterness, they don't give the IBUs on the website. It seems low, like at the most. No, I was going to say 2 out of 5 hop cones. I don't believe it's that high. 1.5 out of 5 hop cones. This beer is kind of, it gives you like the willies, or as they say around here, the frisson. Like, and you say, oh, you're always doing those rum taste challenges, whiskey taste challenges, brandy taste challenges. Got you put off, but you can't stand it anymore. Can't handle it. I mean, I can stand it, and I can handle it. And I've had enough bourbon barrel beers over the years, going back to Coney Island Human Blockhead, which was 2011 or something. No, that must have been 2013. But I mean, you know, going back a long time, bourbon barrel aged beers, rum barrel aged, etc. At barrel age. I don't know though. This one's not tasting so great. For $4.75 a can. The body seems a bit thin, and that's an ongoing running complaint we've been having, me and other beer people, about stouts, imperial stouts, tasting thin like a porter, you know, feeling thin like a porter in the mouth. Now, the mouthfeel here is not velvety or slick, just like beer. You could think, oh, well, it's Miller High Life in the mouth, just water like that. You say, no, I mean, I don't mean the taste, the feeling of it. It's just regular old beer. I'm gonna do a little bit more. Try to get, I like the can. Now I know the hype is high on this, so you'd be reluctant to give it a lower than A score, you know. But the flavor is strange with that cheesy note. So it looks all right. It's not super. Look how thin it is. You know, it's not like real creamy in the head and all. It's just sort of all right. The aroma is not too nice. And I know people are going to say, got a bad batch. I don't want to hear that. I don't think Utica puts out bad batches, FX Matt. There is a little chalky note that you get from high gravity beers, usually lagers, but sometimes in ales it'll start shining through, and it's there. That chalkiness that's the mouthfeel. I didn't notice that before. Just now, that chalkiness. 12.4. Brown bread crust. They're talking about the chocolate and the coffee. No, it's just dark roasted bread taste, more like a fruit cake, but without the fruit, just the bread thing. It's sort of like the bourbon doesn't hurt it, but I'm not gonna say it helps it. It just like doesn't change it either way, positive or negative. But then the champagne yeast seems to be a detriment. If I want to drink champagne, I drink champagne. If I want to drink beer, I drink beer. Now I have some bubbly in the cabinet. They can't call that one champagne because that one wasn't grandfathered in after the new regulations went into effect. Sparkling wine, but it is champagne. But all that legal jibber jabber. And I've complained about bourbon barrel aged beers before, but this one here, I've had the up in Memphis. Now I never seen it around here, but I like on road trips to Memphis. They have the Mississippi Mud, another contract brew from FX Matt. It's always been made by them. Apparently Mississippi Mud is some little office storefront in northern Mississippi. The brewery. But you know, it's in arrangement with FX Matt. They make the plain cans and the big 32 ounce, look like a old whiskey ceramic bottle. Nice beer, pleasant, no off-putting flavors. You might say, well, it's a little bland. I don't really find it's bland. It's a black and tan. So they have their own characteristic, and it's very mellow. Utica Club was really nice. If I was looking for a nice mellow lager, that's one to get. The first time I had it, I thought it was a little off. I don't know why. It was something I didn't like about it. The second time when I was at the brewery, could have been freshness or some situation like that. Oh, well, I mean, I was just drinking it. It was just on point, on point. Even the UC Light was on point. That was delightful. Nothing wrong with that beer at all. This one seems to have a lot of negativity with it, negative aspects to it. I'm afraid. I thought it was going to score to A+. Reading everything I said, it's going to be a dynamite knockout. But a little bitterness is shining through. Maybe it's 2 out of 5 hop cones. I don't know. The whole feeling with this thing is sort of unpleasant. They're saying 58 in the style, which means treacherously bad in the style. But how is it scoring a 94 overall? That was quite a sprint. The finish is like 59% dry. It's just something unpleasant about it. And it's that whole cheese, champagne. I think people are trying to get too funny with beers, too strange with beers. I'm not enjoying it at all. I don't think it's a good beer. The last Brooklyn Lager I had seemed a little off, I'm afraid to say. That's scary. Is Brooklyn Lager as good as Utica Club at this point, 2021? Back 5 years. I'm not seeing that. I'm going to be honest. Brooklyn beers, they don't have much of a market in Louisiana. Brooklyn Lager, you might see it around. You might see those variety packs here and there, being all lonely on the shelf, getting no attention. And I think a few people are buying this from Mathern's just for a curiosity piece. I mean, there are hardcore craft beer people in the river parishes along the Mississippi River between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and they Mathern's is like the central point, the nexus, the spoke on the wheel, and they got people that just gonna, they got much better income streams than I have, and they're just gonna buy it, whatever it is, they're gonna buy it, they're gonna try it. But I think I don't know how many they ordered, but I think some of those 4-packs are gonna be around a little while on the shelf. Booziness, like if you have some kind of like habit of high alcohol, you know what I'm saying, trying to be delicate, that you got to have high alcohol intake every day. This would work, but then why would you buy this for $14.99 a 4-pack when you could buy a 750 milliliter bottle of Heaven Hill Quality House Kentucky blended whiskey? I mean, it would be the same kind of utilization, and that one's probably arguably more enjoyable than this. On the rocks probably is more enjoyable than this. So anyway, the score, never dreamed this would happen. I'm gonna go with like an 82, 8.2 out of 10. It's marginally good, B minus, and I don't even know if it's that high. What the heck, I'll take one more sip. I got 4 cans, this one plus the other 3 unopened. Guess I'm gonna have to do a blind taste test with my friend David, see what he thinks. Hate to see how that comes out, because he's much more critical than I am, and he really flips out when there's like any flaws. He just goes kind of berserk, which I don't mind. He pays a lot of money for his products. Good money. That smell. Now that chalky mouthfeel is coming into play as it warms. You say let beer warm, it gets better. Not in this case. Nah, no way. No way. This thing is a 78. It's like high level average, and man. I'd rather drink Steel Reserve 211 6%. It's a way better beer. It's a much more enjoyable product. It's way better product. So anyway, laissez les bon temps relais, but not with this. Go get Steel Reserve 211 6%. Not the 8.1, but the 6%. It's a much better made product. Sorry y'all, but it's a catastrophe. It's a catastrophe. Thanks for watching this video production. Maybe. Yikes. Well, it is what it is. Look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you do? What do you do?